Students, please turn to face the American flag, and families, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Good afternoon, students, families, and colleagues. Welcome to our 8th grade promotion ceremony honoring the class of 2024. It is wonderful to see you all again in person, and we have missed you all terribly. A large contingent has earned mentions for the patience and resolve to make this ceremony happen. Along with students and families, a ton of thanks go to our middle school faculty, our resident superwoman, Mrs. White, Dr. Griffith and Dr. Martin, our operations team, our technology team, our communications team, our development team, our dining services team, and visiting teams that are helping us today. Please join me in expressing our thanks to all of them again for their patience and hard work to even make this happen. I am thrilled to share this milestone moment with all of you today and to have the opportunity to share some thoughts with the class of 2024 as your middle school tenure comes to a close and the next chapter of your educational journey begins. In many ways, 2020 has been less than awesome. I have heard several people predict that the upcoming New Year's Eve celebrations to bid farewell to 2020 and welcome 2021 will be something to behold. The fact that people are already thinking about New Year's Eve in July is telling. The last several months have been difficult, discouraging, emotional, and exhausting. I cannot provide you with an explanation why your 8th grade year was the year you were deprived of seeing each other and your teachers in school every day, or why you were deprived of athletic seasons and the many other experiences that school brings. I am sorry that fate presented you with this situation at this time. However, in other ways, 2020 has also been inspiring. You, your teachers, and your families have literally reinvented yourselves in order to continue teaching and learning and have successfully accomplished something previously unimaginable. We have renewed our appreciation for things we may take for granted, such as each other's company and time with family. The challenges we have faced as a school community and the challenges we face as a national and global communities have accelerated for you the lessons that accompany struggle. While I understand that if this does not resonate for you right now, and perhaps may take a while, the fact that you have had to turbo your understanding of 3 things will contribute significantly, perhaps most significantly, to the person you are becoming. Those 3 things are humility, empathy, and perseverance. For those of us way above your age bracket, we largely agree that our struggles have defined who we are as much as, if not more than, our victories have. As is often the case in life, your mindset will determine whether or not you use these challenges and struggles as an opportunity. The humility, empathy, and perseverance required of you over the last several months may spark ideas that will help our world become a better place for everyone, possibly in the areas of education, healthcare, technology, social justice, equality, and other forces that impact humanity at its core. Please consider how you can transform the current events and issues you have experienced and witnessed into leading, creating, and contributing. On behalf of the entire middle school community, I'd like to share some thank yous. Thank you for your kindness, your trust, and your respect. Thank you for the thousands of smiles, good mornings, how are yous, and thank yous. Thank you for being your unique and authentic selves individually and collectively. Thank you for finding ways to make our days better and making us not only better educators, but better people. Next, I will share some we hopes. We hope you have felt cared for and supported as students and as people during your middle school journey. We hope you recognize the value and impact of making someone's day better, lifting people up, and sharing positivity. We hope you have been challenged and inspired to stretch your perceived limits and accomplish something you did not think you could. Lastly, we have a few requests as you move past us and we continue living the dream in middle school. The waters you will navigate in upper school will be different than the waters you navigated in middle school. Please always have each other's backs and stick together through it all. Please continue to establish your own thoughts and ideas, but always listen to others and remain open-minded. Please know that it is the balance of your academic life, eventually your career, and your personal life that will define success. Please spend time enjoying the moments you are in and do not dwell too much on the past or the future. Speaking of moments, moments at a podium are never official without a quote. Instead of going with a famous writer, historian, or philosopher, I'm going with Master Oogway, who dropped a wonderful piece of knowledge in the movie Kung Fu Panda. To steal his words, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift, which is why they call it the present. Congratulations, class of 2024. We will now move on to mention this year's class gift. Schools have the responsibility to not only teach academic content and mold successful students, but to also teach character and mold thoughtful, considerate young adults. One of the principles we communicate to students is simple: embrace and create opportunities to give back to your community. Earlier in the school year, we invited students to submit proposals for 3 leadership challenges, one of which was to form a class gift fundraising committee to put that principle into practice. These students handled every aspect of several projects in order to raise funds devoted to the class gift. They did an amazing job and were a pleasure to work with. Unfortunately, they did not have the opportunity to continue their efforts, but they were on pace to surpass the amount of the class gift over the last several years. At this time, I ask committee co-chairs Joseph Shortino and Gabby Morale to stand at their seats. Araya Casriel, who cannot be here today, was the 3rd co-chair of this committee. The class of 2024 is proud to announce a contribution of $510 to the advancement of middle school programs, projects, and facilities. It is also fitting to recognize the committee chairs of our 2 other leadership challenges who were also denied the opportunity to complete their projects. Please stand at your seats: Mason Bindler, Claire Farron, Sophia Lennon, Parsvi Shah, and Rosepreet Verdi. We appreciate the fact that all of you showed the initiative necessary to accept the challenges as well as your willingness to give back. Please continue this moving forward within your school, local, and larger communities. Great job, all of you. Thank you. And at this time, Dr. Griffith will share his congratulatory message.
Thank you, Mr. Ketchum. I want to add my welcome to this 8th grade moving up ceremony and closing exercises for the class of 2024. Greetings again to parents, grandparents, faculty, administration, staff, special guests, and especially these 8th graders who are marking a special milestone today. This rite of passage has certainly been, as Mr. Ketchum alluded to, a long time in coming. We wondered if we'd be able to honor the class in person, but are glad we waited and were able to do so. Hopefully, our patience was rewarded in the form of the lovely weather and a unique ceremony tented rather than in Panther Hall. Indeed, as Mr. Ketchum alluded to as well, patience and resilience were certainly salient words for the spring. For the time schools closed and Ranney closed in mid-March, we've adjusted to remote learning and had to forego many of the typical end-of-year events and celebrations. While Mr. Ketchum and the middle school tried to make the best of that and give some semblance of normalcy to these times, there is no doubt that for those marking transitions from middle to upper school, from upper school to college, and especially from college into lives beyond, this has been an anxious time. The cancellation, again, of spring athletic seasons and concerts and robotics tournaments, the end-of-year trips that were foregone, the parties. Many weeks after it was initially planned, though, we were able yesterday to celebrate the class of 2020 who had a beautiful graduation in the same spot. And we were able to take advantage of that opportunity to honor the 8th grade as well. Of course, for our 8th grade today, this rising ceremony is not an end point at all, but only a stage of the much more significant journey that will culminate for many of them, all of them, in graduation and life and as alumni of Ranney or many other fine institutions. Many of them will join the students who graduated from Ranney to exceptional college experiences and fulfilling careers. The class of 2020, our very most recent alumni as of yesterday, were admitted to an impressive array of colleges and universities, and we're confident that in 4 short years, you will have similar great choices. But even our graduates yesterday faced some uncertainty, as you know. Colleges with early starts, delayed starts, different plans for different grades, hybrid learning, remote learning. We're meeting regularly on campus with continued planning for our own anticipated reopening this fall. While we are very optimistic and even confident that we will be able to do so safely, we know that there will be many changes and challenges ahead. Inevitably, the same patience and resilience we had to learn this spring, by default, if not by choice, will be virtues that will have to be reinforced this fall as well. Like the many classes before you, the Ranney class of 2024 progresses to the upper school as artists, robotics engineers, athletes, academics, singers, actors, or service leaders all have contributed to this community. Ceremonies like this are reminders of how we take stock of the past and prepare for sometimes uncertain futures. In an article published a while ago in the New York Times, a renowned psychologist from the University of Pennsylvania, a guy named Martin Seligman, shared a perspective that seemed relevant today. Seligman is a researcher who has dedicated a lot of his life and career at UPenn and elsewhere to a field called positive psychology. Sounds like something we could all use a little bit of these days. A couple years ago, I heard Seligman speak at a conference, and recently I reread an article in the Times that seemed particularly relevant in these periods of transition. Seligman defined a quality in humans that he feels is unique, the idea of thinking or planning for the future, or what Seligman calls prospection. Seligman notes that anthropologists, historians, biologists have long debated about what makes us unique as animals: language, the ability to use tools, cooperation, culture. The title of that piece he wrote in the Times is, "We Aren't Built to Live in the Moment." Despite our romantic ideas of seizing the day or carpe diem, the truth is we are, by our very nature, planners. Other animals are very limited in how far they can think ahead. Seligman writes, "What best distinguishes our species is an ability that scientists are just beginning to appreciate. We contemplate the future." What Seligman argues really distinguishes us as a species then is the ability to think ahead. The whole idea of commencements or rites of passage like this moving up ceremony are implicit in the names themselves, a ritual unique to humans. They speak to the consciousness of the future and our need to mark it in our lives in rites of passage. It probably goes without saying that planning now is very difficult. So we all live with some anxiety around that most important characteristic of prospection. It's also one of the things that makes this time anxious for parents especially. Students marking this transition from middle to upper schools at Ranney have certainly faced challenges, especially this spring, as David alluded to. But often, the parents here today who are planners almost by nature have been able to blunt the edge of anxiety or disappointments and help our students to set the course for the future, both short and long term. That is more difficult now. In the spring of coronavirus, we've certainly been reminded of the Robert Burns poem, "The best laid plans of mice and men often go awry." Prospection, in other words, is both a gift and a challenge. As we celebrate the past and your time in middle school today, we should also think about your future selves, though, in the upper school. As you depart from Ranney's middle school, we're confident Mr. Ketchum and your teachers have prepared you to discover all the wonderful things that lie ahead despite our challenges. As you continue the goal of self-knowledge in the critical upper school years and before college, we wish you every happiness and every success. We know you will have adults who will nurture your curiosity and help your confidence to grow. That is the great project for this class and for all classes, not just in the 4 years ahead, but for your lives. Wherever you land in just 3 months' time, 2 months' time, in Ranney's upper school or elsewhere, you'll need to develop those skills and make contributions in a variety of areas. That is the life beyond middle school and even the life beyond Ranney. We look forward to seeing many of you in a few short weeks when you'll be joined by over 40 new students in our freshman class. We know you will welcome them to Ranney. Best of luck and congratulations to the class of 2024 on this milestone we're celebrating this afternoon.
Thank you, Dr. Griffith. We will now recognize a number of 8th grade students who were selected by our middle school faculty and administrative team to receive several annual 8th grade awards. Award recipients will not approach the stage, but will instead stand at their seat, turn to face the audience, and receive your applause. At the conclusion of the ceremony, if those recipients could please return to the front of the building where you checked in with Mrs. White, your award plaques will be waiting for you there. Citizenship Award. Each year, we recognize students from our 8th grade class who have distinguished themselves by displaying outstanding citizenship during their time in the Ranney Middle School. These students are recognized not only for their courtesy to and respect for others, but also for their commitment to our honor code. The exemplary behavior and personal integrity these students demonstrate each day as they interact with peers and faculty has a profoundly positive impact on our middle school culture. I will announce the recipients as a group and ask that they stand at their seats and face the audience for applause. This year's Citizenship Award recipients are Claire Farron, Parsvi Shah, Jason Waska, and in absentia, Zonk Zhao. The Leadership Award. The Leadership Award is given to members of the 8th grade class whose efforts to set an example for others have truly made a difference in the lives of their peers and the relationships within the collective group. In either a formal or informal capacity, through the strength of their character, these students have served as role models for the entire middle school student body and enhanced our school environment. Likewise, if your name is read, please stand, face the audience for your applause. This year's Leadership Award recipients are Alberto Beltra, Araya Casriel, in absentia, Brooke Lembo, and Rose Preet Verdi. The Perseverance Award is given to students in the 8th grade class who have met life's challenges and experiences with a positive attitude and spirit, thereby serving as an inspiration to the Ranney community. Through dedication and persistence, they have achieved noteworthy academic improvement and personal growth, reminding us that navigating the journey is as important as arriving at the destination. Again, if you could please stand and face the audience. This year's Perseverance Award recipients are Starlet Detro and Nico Feng. Tushar Bhatnagar Award. Tushar Bhatnagar was a student in our middle school many years ago. He was a scholar who placed a high value on academics and an athlete who made significant contributions on the playing fields. He was honest, honorable, and a truly fine young man. Sadly, Tushar's time with us was short. It was a loss that cut deeply. While success in academics makes a student a leader in the classroom, skill and sportsmanship in athletics completes the development of the well-rounded student. The combination of intelligence and integrity is powerful. Tushar gave his all to both, making him a champion in every sense of the word. Each year, we look to honor him by awarding the prize named in his memory to 8th graders who have also demonstrated this dual commitment. It is important to note that this year, it was impossible for us to distinguish between two particular recipients. Therefore, we made an exception to prior years and increased the recipients to 3, with the logic being that making an exception is wiser than excluding a deserving student. So again, if these students could stand, if your name is called, and face the audience. This year's Tushar Bhatnagar Award recipients are Trey Junkin, Sophia Lennon, and Kevin Mortensen. The Ann Capel Citizenship and Service Award is given in memory of former faculty member Ann Capel, who taught math at Ranney School for 12 years and who was named National Teacher of the Year in 1989. The award is given to members of the 8th grade class who have best demonstrated generosity of spirit and thoughtfulness to all, thus exemplifying those qualities most associated with Miss Capel. The students' devotion to the school and demonstrated caring and concern for fellow students has been instrumental in building of community at Ranney and has contributed to the evolving tradition of a Ranney school education. This year's Ann Capel Award recipients are Lindsay Berliner and John Welch. And finally, our Trustees Award for Excellence. Each year, we honor an 8th grade student whose academic excellence had distinguished them as scholars of the highest order. These students have consistently demonstrated the daily habits, work ethic, engagement, and application of knowledge reflecting their commitment to learning across all disciplines. Their desire to master the content of skills of their courses is indeed remarkable. We are honored to present this award, signifying exceptional academic achievement during their middle school tenure. And this year's recipient is Ria Sakan. Thank you, and congratulations again to all of this year's recipients. Great job to all of you. And for our presentation of certificates, Dr. Griffith, I have conferred with the middle school faculty as well as Ranney School's administrative team and can confirm that the students gathered here today have satisfied all of the requirements for successful completion of our middle school curriculum. Students, we will now present you with a certificate of promotion to the upper school. As a reminder regarding process, each row will stand together at the appropriate time, and when each student's name is called, you will approach the stage from your right. You can't see it right now, but we have an X marks the spot right there, and if you could pause there for a photograph, we would appreciate it. Feel free to open your promotion certificate for the photo. The remaining students in that row will simply move towards your right as each name is called, and then return to your row and eventually land in the seat that you are now in. And when all students in one row are back, then the other row will come forward. Okay. Let us begin. Front row can stand, please. Thank you. Alberto Beltra. She's right in front. There you go. Lindsay Berliner. Mason Bindler. Luke Buddha. Li Wen Leo Xiao in absentia. Madeline Carpenter. Araya Casriel in absentia. Joseph Seller. Curtis Krapovka. James Crowley. Starlet Detro. Emmanuel Di Liberto. Joshua Engel. Claire Farron. Second row, if you could please stand. Nico Feng. Carter Holmes in absentia. Trey Junkin. Shaya Kazmi. Camille Sophie Krakowski. Eli Landers. Brooke Lembo. Sophia Lennon. Matteo Martino. Mazza. Olivia Mingione. Gabrielle Morali.
Gabby.
So second row, you can file back in. And third row, if you could get ready, please. Kevin Mortensen. Dylan Newman in absentia. Arshay Patel in absentia. Veronica Polochek. Alex Prezzuti. Sal Principato. Yish Xiao in absentia. Sienna Shah. Alexandra Shortino. Parsvi Shah. Ria Sakan. Gabriella Stavola. Maggie Stewart. Okay, third row, you can file back in, and fourth row, please get ready. Thank you. Seth Tolchin. Dakota Dastola. Rosepreet Verdi. Blake Weiss. Noah Weiss. John Welch. You got it, John. Jason Waska. Junping Zhu, in absentia. Zia Yang, in exumptia. Junran Zhao, in absentia. Okay, last row, you can file back in, and in a moment, I will ask all students to stand, turn to face the audience, and receive collective applause. Students, please return the love and applause to your families and teachers for their tireless care and support. Thank you. Dr. Martin will now welcome the class of 2024 to the upper school.
Thank you, Mr. Ketchum, and congratulations to the class of 2024. We're so excited to be welcoming you to the upper school. And for those of you that are going to other schools, we wish you all the best, and please know that Ranney will always be your home. Once a Panther, always a Panther. So to the class of 2024, congratulations on completing your middle school years and preparing for your transition to high school. This is an exciting time in your lives, a time when you take the next big step toward adulthood. It will require more hard work, something in the school's motto, a phrase from Horace's satires, points out. Nil sine magno vita labore dedit mortalibus. Life gives mortals nothing great without hard work. We will expect big things of you in the upper school, and one of them will be hard work. Yes, sometimes some things come easier to some than to others, but usually greatness appears to be effortless. Often, though, those who achieve it point to hard work as the source of their success. At the turn of the last century, New Jersey's own Thomas Edison mused, Genius is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. And one of my favorite athletes, I'm originally from near Cleveland, is LeBron James. Several years ago, he argued in an interview that, quote, "You have to put in the work if you expect to improve your game. That's always been my mindset. I can't cheat the game." Sometimes his teammates would all be dressed and ready to get on the bus after a game or a workout, and James would still be on the court practicing, working hard to improve his craft. Asked whether this bothered him, his teammates fiddling on their phones and not practicing long hours with him, he replied, "Look, it's gotta be in you. If you have to force someone to put in the work, then they're not supposed to be there." Countless successful people point to work, perseverance, resilience, and grit as the secret to their success. And this is my first charge to you. Work hard these next 4 years. My second and final charge, though, is to have fun. You will have opportunities to have fun in class, in athletic and artistic pursuits, and in social gatherings. Savor these opportunities to enjoy your time in high school. It's important for you to be happy in the upper school, to smile and savor the joy of doing what you love to do. At the same time, sometimes work and play intersect. Fred Rogers, or as we know him, Mr. Rogers, argued, "Play is often talked about as if it were a relief from serious learning. But for children, play is serious learning. Play is really the work of childhood." Einstein famously mused, "Play is the highest form of research." Something tells me that LeBron James was having fun out there, shooting those extra three-pointers after games he'd already won. He found a way to make his work play and to be playful at his work. I hope you will all be able to find ways to find joy in your work and, frankly, to work toward having fun. Congratulations, class of 2024. Work hard, play hard.
Good job, Greg.
Thank you very much, Dr. Martin. I'd like to share a few closing thoughts and reminders before we officially end our ceremony. Students, at whatever point in your life you find a passion or calling, please don't open the door gently and peek out. That is the time to bust through the door with energy and enthusiasm and to go for it. There's a great song titled "Head Full of Doubt, Road Full of Promise" by the Avett Brothers. I recommend you Google it. The song is about possibility, hope, and seeing your own potential. In that song, there is a simple lyric that I would like you to remember. The lyric reads, "Decide what to be and go be it." Thank you and congratulations for everything you have done for each other and for the middle school community. We will genuinely miss you. As we conclude 3 years together, this thought may seem outrageous at the moment, but please know that you are welcome to visit us at any time. You know where to find us. Before we begin our recessional, students, please know that the RSPA has graciously provided a promotion gift for each of you. This gift is located under your chair. In addition to having your promotion certificate in hand, please stand, retrieve your gift, and face the audience again. Following one more well-deserved round of applause, Jason, when you hear the music, you have the honor of leading the class out. Thank you, and congratulations again to all of you.